Okay, so if you are strength training on a regular basis and you're not seeing the progress that you want, let's evaluate how heavy that you're lifting. Let's talk about reps in reserve. Reps in reserve is a way that you can measure how close to failure you are with an exercise. When we go to complete failure with an exercise, you literally cannot do another rep. And in fact, that last rep that you try, you can't complete it. When we think about building muscle and strength, getting to 1 to 3 reps in reserve or reps in the tank is a really great place to be. Make sure you have adequate rest time of about 2 to 3 minutes in between. Now, typically, if I'm doing supersets with my clients, so alternating exercises that don't compete with each other for recovery, I'll put maybe 90 seconds to 2 minutes. But you do want that adequate recovery time so you can then get back to the exercise at that same intensity level. Figuring this method out and using this in conjunction with the RPE scale, rate of perceived exertion, does take time. To try and figure out this feeling for yourself, it's probably worthwhile for you to take some exercises safely to failure. So there's certain exercises that I would not recommend going to failure on, especially if you're a beginner, like big barbell loaded back squats or deadlifts. But at home, if you're working out at home, these are some that I like to take to failure to help figure out that feeling of how your muscles are going to be feeling at the end of a set. Push-ups, bicep curls, calf raises, single leg glute bridges. So all of those, if you get to the point where you're like, I can't go anymore, you can either drop the weights down for bicep curls, or you're just going to be on the floor for bridges and for push-ups. And then for the calf raises, you'll just stop. For those exercises, once you get to that point, you're going to realize, okay, that feels like no reps in reserve. So when I'm working to get bigger muscles and stronger muscles, I want each set to have 1 to 3 reps in reserve or reps in the tank. This is a really efficient way to gauge your intensity without knowing a percentage of your 1 rep max for every exercise that you do. This also allows you to work on a day-to-day basis for auto-regulation on recovery. Certain days you might be able to lift heavier, certain days you might be able to lift lighter, and that's all based on how your body is feeling. And if you found this helpful, follow along and maybe share with a friend.